Hello and welcome once again to the daily video. We are still in Herttoniemi and we are still gonna go down south. Uh, I don't know how many people live on that island, but I think this is one of the best served public transport areas in uh, in Finland. What we're gonna do today is that we're gonna create line number 87. We start at Herttoniemi, and as usual, we stop at Laivalahden portti at Linnanrakenteen tie at Kaivolahden katu at Tuoriniemi, and then let's see if we skip that stop or not. It's a bit of an oddball of a stop. And guess what? We'll skip it. We'll stop next at Yliskylän keskusta, and then we turn right to Koirasaaren tie. After that, we continue straight forward to Lauri Mikonpojan tie, and then comes something fairly strange. We have this roundabout in here, and the Gunnillantie stop actually is just before the roundabout when coming from this direction. So what we're going to do next is that we're going to create another, what's that called? Platform for the stop. And then we're going to create one of the first roundabouts I'm actually forced to create in this game. They're pretty difficult to create in a way which doesn't cause issues with the buses. So that is why I am skipping them every time possible. But unfortunately, this time I couldn't. So in here, I don't think it will be an issue because this is fairly low traffic area. The track or the bus line or the road, if it's called, that's the thing what the car drives on. It continues over here, and then we will just need to merge these two tracks here, and now we should have a perfectly functioning roundabout. What becomes problematic with these roundabouts is when you have more than let's say more than 3 crossings in them. If you have a full roundabout and you need a full roundabout, then it's going to be slightly difficult to create. Otherwise, well, yeah. The issue with the roundabouts is that you need to kind of put intervals, or you have to put in the signals in the roundabouts to every single direction. You can't create a roundabout which works smoothly in the game like it would work in the real world without the signals. And when you put in the signals, you have to place them with a proper gap, so that the buses won't sort of get stuck in the roundabout and then stop all traffic, which has only happened once to me actually so far. I mean, I've created almost 70 lines. How many do I have? I have 64 lines and I've only managed one traffic stop, because every time I have created a line, I put the game fast forward 24 hours, and then I check that everything's working, and then I get back the following morning at 2 a.m. when the, or let's say 2 a.m. finish time, when the budgeting restarts for the day, because it doesn't work in Finnish time, it works in GMT. And that's why it resets every 2 a.m. Finnish time. And after stopping at Gunnillantie, there are still 3 stops left. Only 3 stops left. So once again, this video is going to be very short. These 80 lines starting with the number 8. Sorry. They're quite short and they run quite densely, which is funny because I never considered how many people actually live on this island. But let's see. Let me check how many people these buses serve. Okay. Well, have a guess first, and then I will tell you. Because in the end of year 2022, south of this bridge here, on this area, there were 22,000 inhabitants. So this island is basically the size of a small town. And now I understand the amount of bus traffic. They're currently building huge amounts of apartments in here, replacing an old oil harbor. And they're actually building a tram track from here where we have Senaatintori here in the left. I'm not so sure if you can see the cursor. They're going to build slightly to north it from Merihaka through Korkeasaari and through this small island here. They're going to build a tram line all the way to this area. But we're not going to create the tram line because by the time it finally finishes, sometime next year, I will be out of Helsinki. I will have created all of Helsinki collective traffic by then. And let me tell you, that line is going to change all of the bus lines, everything. So I would have to rebuild the whole system. So I'm actually going to try to build the whole system in Helsinki before that dam bridge is ready, so that I wouldn't have to do extra work. But back to business. Haakoninlahden katu, Håkansviksgatan, which is located around here, is in one of the 3 last stops on this line. That's it. And then the track continues, or the road continues. And that's it, connected to the existing line once again. I can't wait to see how this roundabout is going to work. I hope for the best, I expect the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not, as Alphaville thinks? Then let me see. Then we will stop at Haakonlahden puisto, Håkansviksparken. There we go. And then we'll build the track from here to the previous stop, and I really can't wait to see where the next bus line is going to take me, because if you have a look at this island, there are really no more places where you can build a bus line. And as we're only building line 87, there are still 2 left. So where the hell are those lines headed? Probably it's just running these existing tracks in a different direction, roads, sorry about that, in a different direction or something, but let's see. Okay, so we have Haakonlahden puisto there. Sorry, I was about to speak Swedish. Sometimes happens by mistake. And then we finally have the terminus called Kronovuoren Ranta, Kronobergstranden. And now I don't know how the bus is exactly going to get out of there, so let me just have a look. Okay, so there is no loop in here. However, I'm lazy, you know. So there will be a loop. Unless there is one more thing to check, actually. Nope, there are no other stops in the area, because that would have slightly changed the game if there would have been another stop, which I would have needed to build between the terminus and the next stop here. But it just makes a loop in the road network without any extra stops, and there was a suitable piece of land to build a loop on, so it will be a loop in the end. This is what lazy gamers do when they're trying to recreate reality. Although I never promised it. And then that's it. That is it. Another line is complete. Or another line has been built. And now it has to be made into a line. That's a different thing. So I said line 87 today, and so it will be pin HSL 87, code 87, base ticket 3.5. There we go. And then we start from Kronovuodenranta. And then it starts. Hakonlahden puisto and all this way, wiping through Guninlantie and Lars Mikonpojantie. Can it actually run straight through there? Yes, it can. So no big issues there. And another quick video is done. I can't wait for the longer lines, actually. I could do one for a change now because I was a bit tight with long lines in the beginning of this game, but now these come almost too easy. So, which means I'm never satisfied. Anyways, that's the line, and then we'll have to see how often it operates. The answer to that is probably every 10 minutes, exactly every 10 minutes in during the rush hour times, and then we'll just go here and see what I last bought. That's it. So line number 238, which brings it to 239 from here. And a 10-minute line at 87, which also should be opened. That's it. Passenger service, trains, and outrun line. 3130, so I will need 4. This is a well-served line. Servicing the local community. 1545, 241. And that's it. And it's 30 seconds. Sorry, I have to buy you another one. In reality, I shouldn't, but that's the same rule to every line. 752 interval, and that's it. That's all on Thursday, May 22nd. And as usual, I will return tomorrow with a new video. Until then, bye.